A. Background. Language has a very important role in human life. With language, the community will be able to interact and able to be understood by the speaker and in the interactor. Bahasa, Bahasa Indonesia is a language that is often used in communication and social interaction in the community in everyday life. According to Hidayati, Indonesians who control several languages then use several languages in communication. So, identity, this is what causes variation language. Linguistic is one the two language phonema in a speech arts of error-such language can err in aspects of language skill, listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills, but in terms of language such as phonology, morphology, and syntax, as well as in terms of non-language, namely meaning and content. In sociolinguistic studies, here are the three types the choice of language commonly known, which is code making, code switching, and variations language in the same language. The code is a speak system whose application of language elements has characteristics typical according to the background of the speaker, the relation of the speaker with the speak partner, and the existing speak situation, which is usually in the form of language variations abolition used to communicate by a member of a language community. Status that someone who use one word or phrase from a language then that called code mixing, the process of speaking two or more languages into one speak with a specific purpose is called code making. Code switching is a transfer or change in the use of a language to another language, aside by neural linguistics. Code switching called the transition in the use of language, but still adjust situations and occur between languages as well as between variations in one language. Code mixing is the use of a dominant language in speech that insert with other language elements. According to Challenger, when a speech occurs a mixture or combination between different variations when the sum pass the events, this is called code mixing. Someone mixed code, it use one language as the dominant language and insert another language with a certain purpose. According to mixal use both defined by completion, such as the use of Volgen language in Indonesian. Language refers to the principle of language that is concise, clear, and if prior into Indonesian will become a part of long sentence unclear and can be doubly meaningful. Recently, social media user explicitly Twitter have been enlivened by the term South Jakarta children as jokes. This term is used to refer to the habits of young people. In this case, in South Jakarta, who communicate with a mixture of Indonesian and English. This proves that there is code switching and code mixing.
Now I want to tell you about our question research, that is, what are the possible reasons of the use of slangs by South Jakarta teenager on Twitter? And I have 18 examples of the use of slang by South Jakarta teenager on Twitter. And this data we get from 2018. From this, we can see that one important person in Indonesia was included in the use of slang language. Okay, so that's it from me, and my group mates will continue the next part of this presentation.
C. Theory. The social function of language is a communication tool to internet as well as a way to identify a group of humans. According to learning, language is a tool of different human communication, deliver messages between people. Social language is the study of the language associated with conditions in society. One of them is the selection and as language, the interdisciplinary field of study that studies relative language with the use of language in society is called social language. The object of social language study is the choice of language that exists in various language communities, such as people who speak two or more languages must be hosted in when talking. Language that is either can cause language change at any time, so the use there will be a change of language and mixed language sadhana. Such that knowledge about science, social needs is also very important given to the public in order the use of language in society can work well and correctly. Herdina related the dialect or language transfer to place due to social cultural change in limit social situations, change such as the relationship between the listener and the speaker, the purpose of speaking language variations, topic discussed in the conversion, time and play talking. According to Sito, code switching, there are two kinds, namely internet code switching and external code switching. Code switching internally occurs between the language itself, such as regional language Indonesian, while external code switching mixing is the use of two or more languages with as other interpret elements of one language into one language into other language, where the language elements or variation The four vowels inserted in other languages are no longer spared. According to Kelvin in Sundorno, which characteristics mixed code the use of the up to or more language for that to take place in situation for informal, relaxed, and familiar. There is nothing in the language situation which demands code making and mixed code and be used of word. Clause idioms, greeting, and sound can be known. The permanent feature of code making is casual or informal situation. A mixture of language code or language variation is called mixed code rahandi. In repeat this opinion, Krigansa suggests the code making is the use of language units from one language to another to explain language style or variety language, which includes the use of word, clause, idioms, and greetings.
Right now, I will explain our conclusion. The conclusion is, based on the description above, it can be concluded that code switching can occur due to several factors, namely because you want to look different, communication style that use more than one language in one sentence is done to distinguish themselves from the environment and other people. Under these circumstances, referring to the habits of young people who use mixed language. This term is known as code mixing, which occurs because a number of people in the environment do the same thing. Studying abroad, the return of Indonesian students from abroad made certain contribution to the development of this style of language. Mastery of European language, author of the book Xenolosopilia, Why Should English, tell the story of some friends who came from Europe, containing the land area they lived in, caused the distance between countries to be located close together, so that each person is used to master more than one language. That's all our conclusion. Thank you.